like imagine you have an ultimate debate team, 2v2, right? You can't pick yourself obviously because you're a substitute, right? But who would your top 2 debate team be if you were Premiership debate manager? Who would you want?
To argue for the globe?
Yeah, for debating. Yeah.
So I would say probably Dave from Professor Dave Explains.
Professor Dave. Okay.
Professor Dave.
All right. No, don't laugh. Come on.
No, seriously.
Come on, we're doing this properly.
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
Dave.
Yeah.
Main reasoning being
You
only...
don't need to come about that. Yeah, we'll deal with the stats and all of that afterwards. We just want like this is your ultimate top 2.
And then I'll probably sort of take somebody who's actually been out and figured this stuff out for himself, so has reason to believe that the Earth is round.
What? Sorry, does the other guy not? Does the other guy not?
Someone like Soundly, perhaps.
Soundly. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you want to think about that, or do you want me to put it down?
Sorry, what is there to think about? I'm confused as to what this list is for.
It is your top 2 ultimate debate team for ultimate extreme 2v2 debate championship thing.
And who are they debating?
Well, you see, it doesn't really. That doesn't.
No,
You're going to go up
pick
against a flat Earth duo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say those 2 between them could
Soundly,
debunk.
Okay.
I'd say those 2 between them could debunk any flat earther you threw at them.
Brilliant.
With logic and reason.
Cool. Well, there you go. Could that be a stat? Logic and reason stat.
Yeah, we're doing like a top trump as well. We started off doing like a dream team, and then it's kind of morphed into. It'd be fun to do
Two new entries that though. So
top trumps. Yeah.
Didn't Simon Dan do that a while back? He did like a top trumps of. Do you not remember that?
No, I don't follow him.
Oh, he did a special.
You can change
with,
Dave if you want. You can substitute Dave out if you want. We won't hold you to that.
So Simon Dan did a special with Conspiracy Cats, and they played Flat Earth top trumps. I'll dig out the video and I'll post it in the chat, and you guys can have a look. It was hilarious.
Yeah, so we want to do it like as a.
like a realistic
We're gonna
thing,
get we're gonna get your input.
Nobody's picked Simon Dan or Conspiracy Cats yet, so they're not even in the nod yet for this.
No.
Interesting.
No one we've spoken to.
No fight the tight shirt.
We have only asked
Nope.
5 people so far from your side. We've got about 4
Yep.
or 5 from our side.
So
I
the
wonder how
thing
they're going to
about
take it, the ones that aren't chosen. That's what I'm interested in.
So the thing about Simon Dan and Conspiracy Cats is, even if they won the debate, the argument would be, well, they're just popular because they lied or cheated or whatever their way into that kind of position. You know, everybody knows that Simon Dan's popularity is questionable
Because he buys subs.
Yeah, that's
sure.
the
I mean,
troll support. We've got that covered. He's definitely at the top of the troll support list. He's right up there with Fight the Flat Earth levels of troll support. Simon Dan.
But the way that I look at it is that I look at kind of like the content that they put out. And so if you look at, for example, the content that Professor Dave puts out, it's all scientific in nature. It's based on...
Is that on YouTube, though?
Yeah.
Well, doesn't that count against them, right? Because everybody knows you can't watch a YouTube video and get any sort of information from them, can you? So that would just be entertainment, right? That's no actual information in any of that stuff, is there?
There's no credibility in YouTube, is there?
No, you can't watch a YouTube video and gain anything from it. So it's just for entertainment stakes, right?
Or Discord.
Well, yeah, Discord doesn't really.
And
matter.
that's all Professor Dave is entertainment. I find him absolutely hilarious. The guff he comes out of his mouth,
Yeah,
and to call himself a professor.
I can't watch it. It's that funny.
He's just got that sanctimonious tone of voice as well, like he's talking down to everybody.
Out of
It's just-
curiosity, what are the votes that you've got so far? Then I'm curious.
Right. Well, we've got Nate. You know Nate.
On the flat Earth side,
No, he's on your side. Right, if that's what we're going to say. We're Globe Earth believers, or we're calling you Curved Level Side to make it
Curved
easy.
Level Side.
Yeah.
okay. Who's Nate? I've never heard of him.
Well, oh dear.
N8.
Well, he knows.
He's in
everybody
Gem
now.
server. He's registered flex offender in Gem Panda server.
Oh, okay.
He's been around the Discord.
He went
Yeah.
for Gem and Kosho.
Interesting. I've never seen Gem actually get involved in a debate, so that's probably the main reason why I didn't pick Gem. Kosho's an interesting
what
case.
debates
though.
have you seen Professor Dave in?
So Dave's been in a few on modern day debates. You
Has
should go and
he?
have a look at that. Yeah. Yeah, you should go and have a look at that. I would highly recommend it.
You know he's not a professor, don't you?
Who was he debating? You know, he's got it in his name on YouTube, so he's obviously not a professor, right?
Shit.
Then you've got Sheeple. Sheeple came round and Sheeple said Blue Marble and the other Taylor. I've never seen the other Taylor. I've never heard of him.
Yeah, I've never heard of him. Blue Marble's an interesting choice, though. He's got some good content, and he does come at it logically and with a reasonable head.
So you you're going for
does-
content rather than like debate.
He
I'm
doesn't
going
know
for-
what a container is, though, does he? He doesn't
I'm
know that
going
you need a container to contain gas. He thinks
Hang
he's
Hang
doing
on,
a tube.
DP.
can we get through the blinking
DP.
list?
What?
So-
I want to put a
Pet.
leash on him.
Yeah,
Well-
I'm going for basically the content that they put out does come across reasonable as opposed to just absurd, chanting and claiming of stuff, if you know what I mean. And
Okay.
it seems to me that the more level-headed the person presents themselves on their own YouTube channel, the better that they would come across during a debate, right?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then you've got Kosho, right? And like one of the rules was you can't have yourself, but Kosho being Kosho had Scott Veach, and then he had to have himself.
Kosho
Oh, of
would have
course
had
he would.
himself twice. if
Yeah,
he could have.
but then when pushed, the best replacement he could find for himself was Gravity Guru, who again we've never heard of, and we thought it'd be a good idea to see if we could set up a preliminary debate between our Gravity Chungus and the Gravity Guru. Tony
Yeah,
and
so-
Gravity Guru. Do you know him?
Yeah, Gravity Guru hangs around partially on Gem's server. I think I've seen him on Nathan's server as well. Scott Veach is very much one of those rumpusing types. He talks too much for me. I want people that can back away when the other person's talking a little bit. I'd rather not have listen to a debate where one person is rumpusing the whole way through, which is why I wouldn't obviously vote for Rumpus.
Okay, well, yeah, I'd be surprised to see whether Rumpus anybody.
Don't do that.
Does anyone vote for Rumpus Show?
No.
No, not yet. But I mean, we
Oh.
haven't asked Rumpus yet.
Oh yeah, you can't vote for.
Rumpus
Yeah,
is
well-
funny. I could debunk Rumpus. He falls into traps where he contradicts himself quite a bit. It's quite
Do you
funny.
think so? He doesn't
Yeah.
think he ever
Maybe.
contradicts himself ever.
Oh, he does. He does. Yeah.
Maybe you should help us point out a few.
Sure. Yeah.
Did
So
you
I've-
see
I've
the
heard him
trigonometry one the other day? Have you seen
So
that
when
one?
he debates Nathan, for example, what was it? There was a brilliant one he did the other day. They were talking about it was the pressure debate again, wasn't it? Pressure without a container thing. And first he claimed that there was no container, and then he said there was a container and it was gravity. But it was like the fact that he claimed both there wasn't and there was led Nathan to then say, well, hang on a minute, you've contradicted yourself here because you've made both sides of that argument. And I'm like, yeah, that's completely something I would have pointed out. I would have just been like, what are you doing?
Can I ask you, Wardy, what your sort of background
you
is?
robot
Just an
there.
interest.
Yeah, mad robot.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now or not?
Yeah, you sound
Can
okay.
you
Yeah,
hear me now?
Oh, now Emma's robot.
Yeah. No, it's just a question for you, Wardy. I just wondered what your background, not necessarily your background, but what's the situation? Is this like something you're interested in as a pastime, or is it, is your work, is it work related in a way, or just interested? Because yeah, you don't have to answer it.
I don't know, call it a hobby, psychological fascination. I don't know. It's not really related to my career in any way.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Psychological fascination.
Yeah.
It's like your own psychology.
I just like seeing how different people think and come at problems. Another interesting area that I tend to look into a lot is the religious side and why people have different religions. I was brought up in a very deeply religious community with like Church of England schools, and I worked for the church when I was in secondary school and like ran the youth club for them and stuff like that, and studied the Bible and did all the. They had this thing called Alpha Course where you have to kind of you have to understand and be part of the community, but not only that, you have to know what they believe and why they believe it in order to work for the church, basically. And for me, it was always interesting that they even believed that in the first place. But it's I guess at some point you could claim that I was a believer as well. But it's been an interesting journey for me.
You say you were a believer.
I think so. Yeah.
What, you're not now?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's the contradictions that get me. So for everything in the Bible, there's an equal and opposite contradictory statement in the same book, and that annoys me, basically.
Bit like globe lines.
How old is Sly, do you reckon? Do you reckon he'll answer?
I don't
I
know
know,
how
he's-
old he is.
He's probably
Have a
younger than
look
me,
in-
which
Have a look in the live stream there, and that's how he calls me kiddo, which is very grown up, isn't it?
I'd
Well,
literally.
he's put 3 claps in brackets as though he's actually doing it like a, I don't know, like a child. What the fuck's up with him? Look, defect. Like, has he copy and pasted that shit, or did you reckon he wrote it all out individually?
I don't know, but I would literally just say to him, "It's okay, Sly. We don't need you anymore."
I am. I'm just telling
No,
him to
we
grow
don't,
up.
what do you mean anymore? No one needed him to start with.
No.
No, but I know, but we just literally want to go, "It's okay. We don't need you. It's fine."
You know, Wardy, he's got a water level test, right? That he's doing, that he says curves. And he doesn't like the idea that I've got a water level test that I say will prove horizontal, right? Now, if he says it curves, and like you say, it curves as well, what would be wrong with me doing the test and finding out it curves? Like, why are you lot so against the water level test being performed?
So careful with the you lot thing. I think Sly's offended because he feels from reading and watching some of his content, I get the impression that the reason why he's offended specifically with you is because at some point he believes you've claimed that the work that he's doing is your work, and he's offended by that contradiction.
I will tell you right now, Wardy, that never happened. His test is designed to fail. My test isn't. He just doesn't want to come and talk. So he makes up a stupid story and then acts like a child so he doesn't have to come and talk about it like an adult.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's a good summary.
like, how do you feel when people on your side that are meant to be doing things like this to prove stuff for you guys, and they act like
There you
little children?
Here you go. This is the conversation I've had with him. It's a very short one because it only started half an hour ago, an hour ago.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you come in here and talk to us, can't you? I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, for me, it's kind of like I can take it or leave it. You know, if I get to the point where like I'm not enjoying myself here, I'll just be like, see you later.
yeah, but no, he's doing he's doing a test. Why can he not come and defend? Why does he have to act like a little bitch?
I guess from his point of view, he doesn't have to defend his work. He just has to show the fault in the, I guess, flat Earth thinking, which is, I guess, the angle that he's coming at it from. From my point of view, if I was in his position, I wouldn't be just out to prove something, so to speak. I would be out to show. I would be heavily invested in spending as much time listening to flat earthers' feedback and basically saying, look, what would it take to show you guys that I'm on the level here with what I'm doing?
Would you not sort of like act like a child and put things in and come up with reasons to not talk about it with flat
So
earthers?
just also, what do you think about someone acting like that? Yeah, your opinion on someone like that. You're talking to him. I mean, what's wrong with just saying these guys over here have got their test? Why don't you, go and have a chat with them? Not that we want to chat with him, but I mean, how do you feel about that situation?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen this kind of behaviour from both sides. You know, you get people like Nathan that will just rant and then mute people. You get people like QE, which will make wild assertions and never have a debate with anyone. Then you get people like Sly, which won't seemingly listen to feedback from the other side that they're trying to prove something to. They just want to kind of make their point and then go, see, you lot stupid. You know, and then you get people like Red's Rhetoric, for example, who, whilst it's funny to watch, he's extremely insulting. And, well, you guys have mentioned Fight the Flat Earth. All he wants to do is insult the other side.
Yeah,
if you want to promote
put a blacklist on us, you know. Red said
well,
that
there you
out.
go.
Yeah, blacklist. You're not allowed to. If you're within Red's little crew, you're not allowed to come and talk to us.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I'm not within his little crew, but, you know, I do watch his content sometimes. I like his rocket launches.
He might be upset with you coming to talk to us if he hears about it, so keep it quiet.
Oh, well.
What did you tell him that for?
Yeah,
what did you tell him that for?
He's more than welcome to be offended by something that I say to him, but at the end of the day, unless I make, I don't know, some absurd thing that he feels the need to debunk, he probably will just brush it off. That's Reds for you. But the point is, both sides have this kind of absurd kind of attitude towards the other side, and actually what we need is more down-to-earth debates where we actually have a discussion on the matter instead of just, like, crying about it and, you know, shouting at the other side and claiming that they're stupid.
Do you claim to be on a side?
I was going to say just one thing, Bev, because I'm going to have to shoot. But well, you're one of the first ones really to have this conversation with. Yeah, literally just talk about it honestly.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
What are you're saying? You've never had like. No one's ever been willing to just come and have an on-level discussion without it being a rant fest.
True. Yes.
Well, have you seen many conversations like that? And how long have you been involved in this?
How many have you seen?
True. I would accept that it's extremely rare for there to be a discussion about flat Earth and it not turn into one side is completely stupid or the other side is completely stupid type comments, or worse.
Nice one.
Yeah, it's the future,
You know,
right?
the thing is, the way that I look at it is, from my point of view, I'm obviously a globe earther, okay? I don't believe the Earth is flat, but I feel that I'm justified in that position. And this is the thing, if you're a flat earther, I'm sure you feel justified in your position. And for me, the whole thing that I find interesting about it is that you can reasonably justified in some of the statements that you're making. So to point out that the horizon is obviously flat is an interesting point, right? And to point out that water looks obviously flat is an interesting point. So it's on somebody from the globe Earth side to basically say, well, yeah, that's what it looks like, but here's why it's not, and to show that to you guys. If you don't accept the argument, well, that's a failing on their side to explain it properly. And I think it was, weirdly enough, I can't believe I'm quoting this, but I think it was either Arthur C. Clarke or Einstein. I think it was Arthur C. Clarke that said something like, if you can't break the problem down well enough to explain it simply, you don't understand it. And that, to my mind, is where the issue lies. Is
Can't
that some of
explain it
this stuff.
simply, then you simply don't understand it.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I probably butchered that really badly, didn't I? But yeah, and essentially, with that, and that's my standing on it, is that if you can't explain something to me simply, if I don't get your argument, that's not my fault. That's your fault, if that makes sense. And it's the same on both sides, right?
Yeah, I was going to say it's both ways. Yeah.
So how come
Yeah.
that missing curvature has never been explained then? How come it's never been measured?
So here's the thing. There are people in the globe community that do believe it has been measured, and
But it
they're
hasn't.
justified in saying that.
No, they're not. It's never been measured.
So what about when Soundley and Jesse drove over the Pontchartrain Bridge and mapped it out with GPS? That was measurement.
They haven't
Soundly
they
didn't do
haven't-
it with Jesse, did he? Was Soundly there in the car with him?
Soundley and Jesse, yeah.
Was it?
They went to Pontchartrain together.
Soundly was in the car as well. Jug jug.
And
Yeah,
do
we
you
can
think-
do that.
do you
Have
think-
you ever been over it, Wardy?
I'm not in America, so
No, I mean, have you ever
And
been
do you-
over what they did?
yeah, I've had lengthy discussions with Soundley about it directly.
Brilliant.
And do you think the curve on that bridge matches the supposed curve of your globe?
I think where the problem comes in is that if you went to one end of the
Wardy, sorry to cut you down, mate, but maybe like spend an hour with us to go through the information that we've got and the video and all that we've got. Would you be prepared to do that?
yeah, I mean, do you want me to bring
think
Soundley in as
yeah,
well?
Yeah, do you think Soundly would want to come? Because I would like to go over it.
Can I get an answer to my question?
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Yeah. Sorry. Just smoozing, trying to set up a deal there.
Yeah, I just want to know if he thinks that the curve of the Earth matches the curve of that bridge in that photograph.
I think there's a complicated explanation to that. I don't think it's something that, if I just say yes or no, it's not gonna.
Yeah, save it for the
Resonate.
special.
But
right?
you're saying that their photograph is proof to you of the curvature. So therefore, that bridge in that photograph must match your expectations of the curvature.
I think if you understand what it's a photograph of and how they took it, then it's reasonably correct to agree with. But you have to understand what it was they took a picture of and how they took that picture.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sweet. That'd be great to have Soundly over. Yeah,
which you obviously don't.
yeah, we'll see if we can set that up. That'd be great.
Well,
Yeah,
even if it was just with Wardy, I mean, like, there's no reason why you just couldn't show him some of the stuff that we've done, or are you going to wait until the big one?
Yeah, well, no, he said he could bring Soundly and we can go over it. I mean, like, we can do that, can't we? We get Soundly over it and we can, like, he won't be trying to interrupt us. We'll just be showing you the stuff that we've got, right?
I can ask him if he'd be willing to come over and
Well, if
have
he
a
isn't,
discussion
like,
about it.
would you mind sitting through us going over what we've sort of got over it and what we've found?
Let me ping him a message because he's normally really reasonable with me.
There's no rush. Well,
Yeah,
I don't even know.
any time will
I don't-
do.
I don't even know if he'll be online right now, but I'll ping him a message and see what he says.
Can ask him his double team as well. Ask him his favourite. We'll get Soundly on the list. Who would he have?
Well, you can ask him when he comes in. But
Well, if he doesn't want to come in, at least get his top two debate.
well, Wardy chose Soundly, didn't he?
Yeah.
Why have you not asked me my top two, Bev?
Well, I'm giving you a chance. I mean, you can offer it up whenever you want. What, are you ready for it?
No, not yet.
No, okay.
Yeah, on the same, on the same.
You're still deciding. Oh, this is this pressure on, right? This counts.
Totally. Well, the other thing
Yeah.
is I don't want to copy anyone either.
Oh.
Being like the individual that I am.